Hello guys, say hello as you're coming on. I'm gonna adjust my camera here. There we go. Okay. Say hi as you're coming on. If you're watching the replay, just let me know you're watching the replay. As always, type a 1 if this is the first time you guys have seen me. Type a 2 if you've seen any of my lives before. I just love to connect with you guys. Let me introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. My name is Mandy Shank. I am from Northern Indiana, married with 2 kids, obsessed with coffee. I always have coffee in my hand. I don't tonight though. And I am a former full-time working mom outside of the home, and now I work from home full-time running my business. So I'm a stay-at-home mom now. I wanted to touch base on a few things. I'll make this as short and sweet as I possibly can because I do have another event that I have to do at 8 o'clock tonight. So I'll be as fast as I can. But I wanted to touch base on a few things. Reasons why I was really struggling in my business. So hopefully this can help you guys too. I just have a few points for you guys. The first one, I was not being coachable. Okay, if you guys have ever heard this word, you know exactly what it means. It basically means being uncoachable, I was not open to new ideas. And it's kind of a hard thing to explain. It wasn't that I wasn't open necessarily. I listened to it, but it just kind of, I didn't understand it, if that makes sense. I took the ideas, I listened, but I just didn't apply it because I didn't understand. I wish what I would have done is taken those ideas and really applied them to myself, because I really think it would have helped my business grow. But I just, again, I was kind of closed-minded. Not that I thought my ideas were better. I just was I was closed-minded about it. Second one, not being consistent, okay? There are 2 ways to run this business, basically. You can do it as a career or part-time, basically. I mean, that's it, career or part-time. Anybody who's in this industry kind of knows what I mean by that. Part-time means that you're doing it in between a job. You're maybe a stay-at-home mom and you're doing it like 15 minutes a day. If you're doing this as a career, it means that you're actually doing this business full-time, right? It is something that you are really applying everything to, if that makes sense. So you might have, like for me, I have a full-time schedule during the day because I stay home and do this. So I work like 7 to 8 hours a day on my business. Some days it's less, it just kind of depends. Like today I was at the hospital with my mom. Everything's okay, but I had, I could kind of be flexible around those hours. I also found though, that even though I'm doing this as a career, if I didn't show up some days, nothing happened. Because you know what? There was nobody in the world that was holding my hand. Like when you work at an office, if you don't show up, your boss is like, hey, where are you at? I didn't have anybody asking where I was. Nobody cared. So it was up to me to be consistent and show up for work every day if I wanted my business to flourish. So that was up to me. But if I put an additional, say, 15 minutes into my business, then suddenly things picked up again. So the more I worked, the bigger my business would grow. But the less I worked, nothing was happening. So not being consistent hurt me. And I had a lot of things going on, like in the spring and the summer. For those of you who know me, I was in and out of the hospital. I had surgery twice this summer. Things were crazy. So I did my best to kind of work around it. But you know what? It hurt me. It really did, because I took a lot of time off. But again, nobody was there to hold my hand saying, Mandy, you need to get to work, because nobody cared. So be consistent, okay? The third one, not talking to people. This is huge. And this is kind of an interesting thing, because when I used to hear people say, getting phone calls, sorry, the school calls me every time this night, I should have known better. So not talking to people, I didn't understand what that meant. If you're talking to people, you're gonna be busier, okay? And it's not always about the opportunity, the products. I'd say 90% of my conversations aren't even about my business at all. It's just talking to people, friendships, building connections. I didn't understand what that meant when people would say, talk to people. I would say, talk to them about what? Because I'm kind of naturally an introvert. I am. I'm not shy necessarily. I'm just not super outgoing. I think I've gotten better in the months, but it was hard for me to understand that, because I'm not the kind of person that would just walk up to people and talk to them. Like I said, I've been better about it. But I didn't understand that concept. It was very hard for me, and it really wasn't until I kind of took matters in my own hands and realized, you know what, talking to people, it's just, that's where it begins, talking to people. And and this is another big one too, along the same lines. I'm going to kind of throw this in here. Not talking to people, not talking about my business, because there was a time when I was like, I don't want to use the word ashamed, because I'm not saying I was ever ashamed of what I do for a living, but I was afraid to talk to people. You know, I don't know why I was so nervous talking to people, because guess what? Why would I be afraid or ashamed to talk to people? I work at home. I'm doing exactly what I want to do. I have amazing goals that I'm crushing. I'm doing what I want to do for a living. Like, I don't look at other people and judge them, so why would people judge me? It was really hard for me to kind of get used to talking about my business. You know, like if I'd be somewhere and somebody would say, oh, I work here. It was very hard for me to bring up what I do for a living, because, and this is kind of what I think though, when people are closed-minded about this industry, they're automatically going to be like, I don't want to talk about it. And I was so afraid of that. I was so afraid of people coming to me, looking at me, judging me for what I do. But you know what? I'm the one winning because I'm doing exactly what I want to do. My kids are winning because I'm home. But again, it caused me to be super selective in what I talked about, and that was a big mistake. And on top of that, I missed out on the opportunity to tell people about how they can do this themselves, how this business is even possible, how you can stay home. Because you know what? If the person who reached out to me to tell me about this, if I never received that message, I would never be sitting here right now. So the way I look at it now is I do share this opportunity because it is possible to do this. I mean, I will say this all the time on my lives. I don't know how many lives I've been on where I'm talking about this. But if I'm holding back information, if I'm not telling people that this business is possible, that it's possible to do something like this from home, I mean, I feel like I'm being selfish by not offering that to people, if that makes sense. You know, because for me, this has been life-changing for my family, and I don't want to hold that back. Like, that's a very selfish thing. So I am not apologetic about what I do. So I do talk to people now, and I do bring up what I do as the opportunity sometimes. So me not talking to people, I think, oh my goodness, how many months did I literally not talk to people? And I don't mean prospecting. I mean literally just like at a get-together, something, talking to people, and I didn't bring up my opportunity. How many people's lives could have changed if I did that? It makes me feel bad, actually, when I think about it that way. You know, because the person who reached out to me, she took a chance on herself and reached out to me. She said I was like the first person she ever reached out to. But because she did that, look where I'm at now. I would have never, ever, ever known to join this business because, guys, I didn't know that this kind of stuff was even possible, that somebody could stay home, be with their kids, work from home. I didn't know it was possible because when I started my first business over 10 years ago, that was a hobby business. I didn't know people could do this as a career. I didn't know, because back then, if people were doing it, I didn't know about it. I mean, they were just making an extra $100, $200 a month. I mean, that's cool, but that's what I need. Is I need a career. I need income, you know, as a full-time career. So I'm gonna move on from that because I could talk about that all night. Okay, personal development. And I know this is kind of cheesy. It is, because I thought so at first too. You need to do this daily, okay? Because I was not doing this. I did not keep my mind sharp. But find somebody that you like to listen to. Find an author that you like. Find someone that resonates with you, because it took me a long time to really get into that. Like, I'd listen to stuff here and there because I'm not a big reader. I can't sit, my attention span, I can't read. But I had a hard time really understanding what personal development meant. And it doesn't necessarily mean team training for your business or whatever. It doesn't have to be about that. But find somebody that motivates you and listen to that person. You need to. And I'm telling you, I do it every day, like 1 to 2 hours a day. Listen while you're in the shower. Listen while you're putting laundry away. You'll find pockets of time to listen, because I'm not one to sit with my phone in front of me and just like watch somebody. I can't do that either. I'm always like multitasking. But that was one of my biggest mistakes, is that I didn't understand that concept either. I didn't understand that I need to do that to keep my mind sharp and to keep my mindset where it needs to be. As we're talking about mindset, that is a big one too, okay? I saved the most important one for last because this is huge, okay? I'm gonna give you guys a quote, and I know you guys have heard it, okay? Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And I know you guys have heard that before. I've heard it several times. I didn't really understand really what that meant. But honestly, guys, if you think this business isn't for you, then it's not for you. If you think you're never going to be a top earner, you never will. And if you think you don't have time for this, then you absolutely do not have time for it. Mindset is king in this business. I cannot stress that enough. Because guys, if you think that you can do this, you will do it. You will find a way. You'll find that, it's a priority to build your business. But if you're automatically going to come into this and say, I don't know if I can do it, I don't know if it'll work, odds are it won't work. And that was my biggest thing. Because when I first started, I kind of had, I'll just say this. I didn't join to actually sell anything. I didn't, because I'm like, I'm not a salesperson. I mean, I'm not now, but back then I just wanted free stuff. I'll be realistic. I just wanted some free stuff. I think that's why a lot of people get in this business. Like, throw me up some hearts if whatever your company in, you really just wanted some free stuff where you're at. I mean, let's be realistic here, okay? I just wanted some free stuff. That's all. But, when I started looking into it and I realized there's girls like staying at home doing this full time. Again, I didn't know that was like a possibility. People just didn't talk about it. I mean, if they talked about it, it was like people you didn't know, and it was, but these were people that I knew that were doing this from home. And I'm like, wait a second, I can do this too. Like, why can't I? And it was literally an overnight shift that I went from being a product pack snatcher, that's exactly what I was, to working this full time. And you know what? That mindset of mine allowed me to quit my job and stay home, because I went into this thinking I can do it. Any job, you guys, if you work in a factory, if you work at a bank, if you walk into work every day thinking, I don't know if this is for me, I don't know if I'm good enough, you are going to be miserable. You are going to be absolutely miserable at your job, and you're not going to do well, okay? I don't care what business you're in. But the thing with this industry is that mindset is so important, because you need to keep that sharp in your mind, because this business is so like up and down. I have some days where I'm literally like, what am I doing here? But then I have some days where it's really good. But on those low days, if I don't tell myself that I can do this business, that I'm good enough for it, God, I would have quit forever ago. I would not still be here, you guys. I can't even stress that enough, because I have seen people take out payday loans to get their kit, and I've seen them go to the top of the company because they had a freaking dream. Everybody can do that. It's literally enrolling and telling yourself, you know what, I'm good enough to do this. I can do it. And then you just make it happen. It's not about luck, you guys. It's about mindset and doing the work, getting that momentum going, because as soon as you quit thinking that you can do this business, it's over. It's over. And unfortunately, that is why so many people in this industry, I don't want to say that they failed, because nobody in this industry fails, guys, okay? You don't. I have people tell me all the time, oh, I failed. No, you didn't fail. You didn't fail. You just didn't think you could do it. You quit when times get hard. If you have a regular 9-to-5 job and you quit because you have a bad day, I mean, I can't tell you how many times at my old jobs I would come home and tell my husband, oh my gosh, I'm going to quit tomorrow. I hate this. But you know what? I just stayed with it, because I'm like, yeah, it's my job. I can't quit. And I go to work the next day. It gets better. You have to just keep going with it. Keep that momentum going. The second that you tell yourself it's not going to happen, that you're not good enough, that you're failing, that you won't succeed, you're done. Okay, you are done. And I know somebody on this live right now has been there. You might be there today, but I'm telling you right now, push past that, because that was one of my biggest things. I had such up and down. Like I told you guys, honestly, the spring and summer for me was so hard. I felt like I was completely broken all summer because I was down from having 2 surgeries. But you know what? I kept going. And I would have been down probably a month longer with my surgery, had I not just told myself, you know what, I need to get up and I need to get this thing done. Mindset is more important than anything in this entire business that you will do. And if your mind isn't right, I'll say it again, it's over. It is over. So if you woke up with a dream today, Cyber Monday, okay, we all have sales going on in our businesses. If you woke up today and you told yourself today is going to be the best day ever, and it's 7:44 right now, well, Eastern time, I'm 7:44 p.m., and you're like, nothing happened today, the day is not over yet. You need to keep pushing and do not give up, okay? Because I've made that mistake where I wasn't to the point where I wanted to quit, but I didn't know if I could keep going on. Okay, it got too hard. Reset yourself, take a deep breath, okay? It'll be okay, okay? That was my biggest thing in this business. It's so up and down. I have one of those days like every week. Trust me, okay? Just unplug, be okay. I'm gonna end it here because I have another live at 8 o'clock I need to get ready for. But I hope this helped you guys. If this brought you value at all, throw me up some hearts, share this, do whatever you wanna do, guys. Message me. I love hearing your feedback, but these were kind of my biggest things that I was struggling with, and to kind of change my mindset up and change what I was doing with my business and my thought process, it changed my life. So hope this helps you guys. You guys have an awesome night. I will talk to you guys later.